everybody. I'm Alexander Fernandez, and welcome to Delivering the Promise 25 Years of Streamline. I'm joined today with a special guest, Lalita. Lalita, how are you?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. I'm Lalita Krishnan, and I'm a Global Director of Talent and Business Operation at Streamline Studios.
All right, I'm Lalita. Well, I'm really excited to have you here because today's episode is all about talent and careers in the video games industry. Something that is a very special subject, especially given the fact that the games industry has gone through its ups and downs over the past 30 or so months. I would really like to basically get an understanding about your journey and what you've done and how you basically got to where you are, if you don't mind sharing.
Sure. It's a pleasure to share my journey in Streamline. 25 anniversary is special for me because I've been 11 years in Streamline right now.
God,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's my 20s and 30s is here.
Yeah, I know that's
Yeah.
true. Actually, you know what? And about 11 years in the video games industry is quite rare because most people don't even make it past five. So
Yeah.
you're a super senior.
Yeah. All right. So my journey here started as operations. I started my journey in 2015. I was coming in from the corporate life, and then all of a sudden I get this opportunity interview with the gaming industry, and I have no idea about there's a game industry in Malaysia. I had seen it in the movies and all that, but never experienced it at first hand. So my first thought when I joined, I was like, I'm just gonna last here for maybe 3 or 4 months. I don't think I can make it. But then when I came here, my impression changed. One thing will stick to me that I want to be in this journey is just the people and also the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that I don't think I will get in any other industry that I have been before. Call me a fresh grad, have a bad experience, and then coming in, see totally a different industry and different experience that I gained throughout. So that's made me okay, I want to give a shot.
Yeah.
I want to be in this part of this journey. So in my career here, I think I started with the operation, have done with a lot of office maintenance, and also deal with a lot of people, and I get the first hand of experience with every single people that I've met in the industry taught me something. And then that's grow me as a person, grow me as a what I really wants to do. And that's how I shift my career, and get the opportunity to expand further in the human resources, which is technically complete my journey from starting as operation, starting knowing the offices, knowing
Yeah.
the industry, and then completed with meeting more people, hiring people that's suitable for the industry, because I already had the experience of what the industry all about.
Yeah.
And now I'm responsible to actually attract more talents to coming in. And then after human resources, then I actually been in director of studio operations, and maybe after 7 years of being in the industry. And during that period, I get opportunity to work with a lot of leaders, meet a lot of leaders in the industry. And then one thing was really stick to me was am I really qualified to take this role right now when I actually not really been hands-on in the productions. I have met the people, I actually hired the people. I've been part of the journey, culture, but do I have, know what exactly it takes to make a game?
Yeah.
And that's the moment, the conversation that we had about it, and I'm really glad that you give me the opportunity to actually explore further. And that's the moment where I decided to step down from the director role and goes to become a producer.
Yeah.
So the journey being a producer was a bit completely different from how I started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like a closing a loop for me from from people. I have handle a lot of performance. I handle a lot of hiring, firing, all the stuff, and that actually give me answers why all that happened.
Yeah.
It's just a closing a loop of hey, what exactly is actually the company is doing, what exactly the industry all about, and how all the projects is being shipped. So then got opportunity to work closely in the European universe, and being throughout the game from the start to the end, and shipping the game in a 5 platform. So, and now I'm back to the talent with more confidence, knowing exactly what we need in our company and what we need in roles and projects. So that make me feel like I achieved something throughout these 11 years. 11 years, amazing years.
No, absolutely. Well, it's actually, I want to zoom in on this journey because you literally went from administration, operations, to then recruiting the people in HR, filling the talent, to then actually becoming a producer. And, you said something very interesting to go from, you were running the business to basically working on the products in the business. And now you have two sides. You effectively have 360 of what it takes to actually run a game studio and run a business. What was the most surprising thing? Like what you didn't know before, and then what you learned from administration to producer? What was the most oh, wow?
I think it's just that when I was being a producer, I think one thing that was really opened my eyes was like how blinded a person can be on how the organization run, because they just see the productions only, they just see the deliverables, they just see the results, and the moment that they actually know something about what's happening in the organization is just when there's a town hall or like there's information giving. And when I was there and I realized that actually even simple things that maybe been briefed to you during your first day of hiring is no longer stick to your head because you're already too focused on your tasks, right? So when someone have experience in like with the HR and all that, it's actually helped me a lot to get the connection with the hires or anyone that I work with in the project, because I actually can explain to them like actually the reason why we're making certain decision because of this.
Yeah.
It's like you always there's a storytelling to like why certain decision be made,
Yeah.
and that actually gives them clarity,
Yeah.
give them more like confidence. Okay, I know who I'm working with and why I'm doing certain stuff, rather than feel like oh, why I have to do this, why the direction change. So
Well, that's interesting because basically at that point, that's leadership and management.
yes,
Basically, because you've been on the other side of the fence and you
Yes.
knew what it was to run the org, you were able to translate
yes,
this is what this means into everyday work.
yeah.
When you look at basically your career, and I mean, you've gone full circle in the industry. I'm curious, what do you think it takes to be successful in games?
I think mostly the main most important thing is like your strong ability to like learn and always have a curious and have the resilience on how the ups and downs of the industry, and
Yeah.
be very aware about what you wants to do and what you really wants to achieve. Because there will be a moment where like you might need to up you know coming up from your comfort zones.
Yeah.
Like one example that I can give, like when there is a moment I was already in a position of I won't say
Yeah.
comfortable, but I was in an as
Well, you're a director.
yeah,
You're a director. so,
exactly.
yeah.
And then I need to make a decisions about like what I really wants to do. And the decisions wasn't easy because of course I do have like a lot of people advising me like why are you making these kind of steps at this moment, from personal or from like circle of friends, and
Right.
and because this is the people that we always go to.
Mhm.
But then also like there's also part of me like I'm very strong believer on learning. Anytime and any moment I always look forward to learn more, and I think that's where push me to like now forget all the noise behind me,
No.
forget all the I know what I want to do and I stick to it.
Yeah.
I think that the strong ability that everyone should have, like knowing what they wants to do
Mhm.
and then strive for that. Because yes, there is a position, there is a like benefits come from that, but is that something make you happy, that something make you grow every day? That's something that you have to really think about what matters for you the most.
Well, I actually want to zoom in on that right there because knowing what you want, understanding and being curious, realizing that if you learn more, you get more. It's probably one of the most difficult things for people to understand because, like you said, everyone is telling you, I'm sure, like, oh, you're a director, you're the boss, you're blah blah. The problem is that let's be real, that comes to a terminal velocity.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't learn other things, then you're literally really saying, I'm the director only waiting for something to break. And if it breaks and I don't have another skill, I will probably be gone.
You're
But most people don't see that. They only see this. They don't see the entire board, the field. How did you figure out that, you know what, it's probably better for me to learn more than to learn less? How is that? Where'd that come from?
I think there's a few instances where I have to make a decision as a director, and I realized that I'm being clouded to make that decision because one, I don't have the expertise on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also put me in the hands of I have to trust a lot of things that been presented to me.
Yeah.
And how do I verify that what is presented is true, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's very true.
I learned from like what we grow in the values of Streamline: trust but verify. But
Yeah.
now I can trust, but I not able to verify
Yeah.
because I don't have the background, or like even if I do take the time to learn about it, maybe the time doesn't really favor me because
Yeah.
I have to make a decision quick,
Yeah.
right? So there's a few instances that throw me off, like way I feel like this doesn't really in my control anymore
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm letting go myself, trusting something that I'm not really sure. So that's the main reason why it comes to it. And also like I also realized that I've been stagnant for a while because not being leveling up myself at that point. Like, I was in HR quite some time. Yes, of course, I interact with a lot of leaders, a lot of people, but that's not same when you're actually doing the work,
Yeah.
right? So that's how I also started to learn. I actually enrolled for the MBA,
Yeah.
and in a that's all like striving for like I need to do something
Yeah.
to actually make it feel better, or whenever I want to make a decisions, or whenever I want to like be more or further in this
Yeah.
organization.
No,
Right?
absolutely.
So I think that's the moment. Like you have to, when you know that your decision gonna impact people's life,
Yeah.
people, the organizations, and how big impact it is. And I want to be truthful for that. So I think that's the reason why I think I was very strong that I will not gonna do this anymore. But whether I'm strong, whether which path I'm gonna choose to come back to that role again,
Yeah.
maybe there was a lot of discussions happening
Yeah.
to make that decisions. But I was very clear. I don't think I was suitable or ready yet for that role.
Well, I mean, that's incredible because that takes a lot of humility. That takes a lot of awareness, a lot of basically self-reflection. And that really brings me to the next point here, because those are skills that you decided to have, skills that you wanted to be. So when you take a step back and you think about this, what do you think are the skills you need to have to be successful in games? What is required to be in this?
Okay, so craft, right? So
Yeah.
game is all about crafting,
Right.
and you need to have a strong sense of what kind of craft that you're bringing to the industry.
Mhm.
And you don't really just interpret what you learn in school, but you also need to know what made in real.
Yeah.
So not only theory, but what you actually can implement in a real time.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to know in and out. And other thing is probably like understanding the workflow on how a game be made.
Yeah.
What kind of a contribution that you impact in a larger production skills.
Mhm.
Every single person contribute a lot to the outcome. And little bit of leadership and communications that
Mhm.
you need to have. Well, actually, not little bit. It's a lot of communication skill that you need to have, because you have to be able to deliver things that pressuring you.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. Or most overlooked part is like you don't talk about what really pressures you, even if it's a smaller skill.
Yeah.
And I think as a producer or project manager or any project lead, they will appreciate to understand what really pressures you in delivering something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's where we actually start predicting stuff that might be break in the future earlier
Yeah.
than when it happened in real time.
Well, that's very true. I mean, in the end of the day, let me ask you, what is that, motivation that you have internally? Where does that come from? Because it sounds like a person really needs to be super motivated. So, I mean, where do you get it from?
Not gonna lie, there's a day like you feel down, and
Yeah.
there is a day that you feel like okay, I'm here for a reason. So I think a lot comes from like the curiosity, and also like the eagerness to see what's the outcome of the
Mhm.
project that we work on. When we work in open universe, like we don't really see the outcome for quite a long time. Like we're still in a design phase. We still have a lot of stuff that we're still figuring out.
Yeah.
And but we know what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
So that keeps me motivated to know like okay, if I come today and then I want to know that this is what the outcome that we're going to have in next 1 year.
Right.
The vision that actually like we see and what we committed to. And the other thing, I think the people around me,
Yeah.
the positive environment that I come into, regardless on how the industry is up and down. And we have met a lot of people that, very passionate about what they're doing, and how much they actually spending time when they're learning new things, or like wants to be part of a great things.
Mhm.
And that's inspired us to see like, if they can, why we can't,
Yeah.
right? So each of us play a role that, push each other's indirectly. And that's what keep me motivated every day, like just showing up is a big thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
let me ask you something. Do you think video games is a career? Can you have a career?
Definitely, yes. Maybe if you asked me 10 years ago, I will say that I'm not sure,
Okay.
but here I am, living proof.
No, that's true. No, you are the proof. So then, okay. So for the
Yeah.
people listening to us that are like just wanting to start out, like, what type of career is it? Is it stable? Is it safe? Or like, what should they be prepared to be into?
It's not a stable career. I mean, let's put it, it's not about stable or unstable, but it's more like there's a challenging career, which is there's a lot of ups and down, and also relying a lot with what happening around
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
And you have to always stay innovative. And also, like, this is also technologies. Technology evolves a lot, and we have to evolve ourselves together with the technology. And I think that's how, for any new people that wants to try this industry, just remember that there's a lot of things that could be challenging, but it will be worth it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you then, if you could go back to your 11 years ago, you find Lalita, what would you say to her? What would you tell her? What advice?
Well, one advice, like, be more confident. I think I have a lot of doubts when, like I said, I even thought, like, this my first career when I start here, I thought like I'm going to be terminated within 3 months because just not sure what I'm going to do.
I mean, I don't know what your impression was for a lot of people,
But
but
that's
we're like
always.
3 months, 11 years later.
I think it's confidence is a one thing that I will give myself advice, like, always be confident. And I think even now, sometimes I feel like a little bit of, a push I needed to be confident about that. So,
What would you say to other people then?
Always learn. Don't always don't think that anything will be ready for you anywhere. You have to work for it, or you have to prepare yourself for that. And always take accountability, and self-awareness is very important.
Yeah.
So know what you can, what you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I actually want to focus on self-awareness because I think everything you're saying it's incredible, and it's almost the lessons that you learn outside or you learn at home. But self-awareness is something that I think is it seems to be difficult for people. It's almost like they don't listen to themselves, or they don't experience what they are to other people, right? They don't get that. How do you develop self-awareness? Like, would you have any tricks on that, or is there anything you do to basically catch yourself,
think I don't really have specific tips for that, but I think at the beginning I do have feelings of, like, I'm very hard to take the critics from other people, or I'm very afraid to receive the feedback, because is it gonna, like, shake my confidence, is it gonna be. But then as I grow, like, getting more, like, meeting more people and seeing how things are different from what I grow and what I learn and what I'm into. And I already tell myself, like, this is a time that I have to be more open-minded, and listen more, and then analyze it. And I think it took a long time for me to actually, like, get into a place where, like, okay, I take this feedback positively. I have a lot of conversation within myself, like, to know, like, why certain things have been told to me in a certain way, and I need to learn, or, like, learn to understand first what's that about, and then improve to a point where, like, I realized that, okay, what I actually really want. I think that's the first question that keep coming back to me, like, asking, like, what I want, right? Because if you know what you really want to be, or what you want to do, that actually will answer a lot of questions that might coming up behind that, like, because you already know what you want to do. Like, if I want to be a singer, but if I don't want to go and learn anything, I don't do my vocal testing or and all that, then that's me. Ultimately, you're not being a singer, right? So it's the same thing for so what you really wants to be. If for me, if I say that, okay, I want to learn new things every day, but how do I achieve that? Is it I start a new course, or is it I am I like trying to involve in conversation with anyone, trying to learn something? It's a little things that started to be, like, make me realize that, okay, this is what I want in my career.
It's interesting because I see that Plato or Aristotle said, like 3,000 years ago, know thyself. And it's still true then as it is now. So, I mean, let me ask you something. Why Streamline? I mean, you could have gone anywhere. I mean, the Malaysia games industry has grown. I mean, since you came till now, there's an actual industry now. Why still be here?
Streamline is special for me. Like, when I started Streamline, I was very small, and then it's like I grow myself together with Streamline, and so I have seen how Streamline has been from the start, or at least for the past 10 years. And I have seen how Streamline is, and I think the people that I met here and the people that I work with actually really hold a special place that give me a confidence that I'm in the right place. And I'm not saying that other places doesn't has that. It's just that I don't think I want to go and try at other places yet because I'm already feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, So yeah, that's why it's Streamline, and also like the opportunity that I got here. I don't think I will be able to explore it anywhere else. And I think the trust and the confidence that the team gave me, the leader and you gave to me, always actually shows me a positive growth
Yeah.
as a personal and also in professional. And that's where make me feel like a Streamline, like a family.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you then one last question. For real, the last question. The global south in Malaysia, where do you see it going for games, in games? What do you think is going to happen?
Definitely a positive growth. There's a lot of new things that coming in, and a lot of opportunities are there for everyone. And I have seen that how much schools are actually making efforts to actually getting better at their syllabus, joining a lot of game dev jams I see everywhere now, and a lot of efforts are there to keep the industry growing. And I definitely believe that the global south is going to be booming further. It's going to take time, but definitely will be there as like one of the biggest industries soon. We were very small a few years back, but now we can see how it's been grown, and it's just continually growing. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, Lolita, thank you for coming and joining us there.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please put them down there. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. If you want to know more about games, please let us know what you're curious about. It's 25 years of Streamline, but we'll continue the journey. Take care.